Hi, my name's Amanda. I'm a coach in a trance channel, and welcome back to another episode of Guided and Grounded. This is a weekly series where I invite forward spirit guides to share a message with you, something that they're wanting you to learn or to understand or to receive at this time, something that you've been asking for information about, for answers to, or something that maybe you didn't know was present for you, but upon finding this video and receiving this message, you'll just know that it was meant for you at this time. And then once they share that message with you, they're going to guide you through an experience of some kind. And it's usually a way to integrate this message, to witness how it's playing out for you in your life, how it's feeling inside of your physical body, and how it's affecting you mentally and emotionally, and also energetically. And from that awareness, they show you how to shift that energy so that you learn how to release it and integrate it and transcend it. So, that being said, the way this works is I close my eyes, I tune into them, I see what they want to share with us today, and the message tends to evolve and kind of build on itself very slowly. So, give me a second and I'll tune in with them, see what they want you to know today. So, they're just showing me this visual of lips. They kind of zoomed in on a pair of lips and this finger sh- on the lips as if to like shush and have the impression of like stop talking, kind of silence. And then they're just showing this kind of energy escaping from the mouth and being sent out into the void, into the collective. And I get the impression that it's this message that has to do with not speaking, not expressing verbally, but there's when you choose to keep silent, there's an energy that escapes from you that carries your truth. And so you don't have to say anything at all in order for your sense of self, your expression, your intention to be emitted through you anyway. And it's sent out into the collective, and let's see what else they want to say. And it finds those who are looking to receive it in some capacity. That you are so much more powerful than the words that you speak. You carry a vibration, you carry a resonance, you carry an energy, and that is going to reach those who are looking to receive that energy because they are either looking to, ready to, or on that same wavelength. And it's this give and take of energy that you are all sharing with one another that is nonverbal. And your what? Your frequency is doing the talking for you, is what they're saying. That sometimes words are not needed or they're not necessary. Sometimes we don't even have the necessary vocabulary to express what it is that we're feeling, what it is that we're thinking, or what it is that we're knowing. And we don't have to. All we need to do is allow our energy to emit it through us. And it's going to reach those who it's supposed to and who it needs to and who it's meant to. Okay, what else? They're just showing this image of someone riding their bike, um, and like throwing newspapers. It's like the mail delivery, how they used to ride the bicycle by the house and throw the mail on the lawn of all of the houses on the street. They're just showing that that is how news is carried in the energetic realm, that it's done through the intention and that you don't have to worry that it's not going to meet you don't have to worry that it's not going to get to the intended destination. That's not even something that you have to worry about because that's how energy works. The intention dictates the result or the action. They're saying the intention dictates not necessarily the result, but the action, because the result is determined by the deepest desire, not necessarily the intention that was expected. They're saying that's a whole other conversation and that we want to stay with it for a second. They don't want to get off track. And they're saying that a lot of us fear that our intention of what we want to relay is not going to get to the destination that we want it to, that the people that we want to receive it aren't going to, and that we have to somehow find where they are and go to them directly and make sure that they get the message like directly from us so that they hear exactly what it is that we want to say and that we can see that they're receiving it and taking it in. And we don't have to worry that there's any kind of, not necessarily that it's getting lost in translation, but that it's not getting to the desired destination. And they're saying that that's that's not even something that we should be worrying about if we're paying attention to our own energy when we are expressing it, when we're expressing it from a place of authenticity and vulnerability and truth, with the intention that it's received by those who are ready to, open to, and willing to, it will. And sometimes it doesn't feel like that's true because we don't necessarily have the evidence that it is, but they're saying that you have to trust in the magic of the intention of your own energy, that your own vibration. Um, it's this lack of trust in how it works that is getting you frustrated, but the frustration is sort of kind of pointless. Like it's playing a role for you because it's showing you where you're doubting, where you're doubting your the own efficacy of your own frequency, of your own vibration, of your own capability and capacity, but it's not necessarily interfering with the destination in mind. Those who are meant to receive it will. And it's not up to you to determine that that's true. It's up to you to trust that it is. It's a very specific message today. They're saying, well, you asked for a very specific message. And it's true, I did. I specifically asked them for a message that is very specifically for those who are needing to hear this, who are asking to hear this, and who it will find when it's meant to. So this message is kind of reflecting back to me to trust that it will and how that's going to happen. Okay, what else would you like us to know about this? They're just zoning in on the heart and they're saying the heart beats with a specific rhythm. And that rhythm what? Is an indication of how open and honest we're willing to be with what it is we deeply desire most. If what we deeply desire most is protection, then the messages that we're desiring to put forth out there in the universe will take their time getting to those who will receive them with an open heart, even if it doesn't feel like they are, even if it's reaching people who are demonstrating resentment of that message or resistance to that message, it's still reaching those that are desiring to receive it on some level. And they might not outwardly express that or show that, but deep down, they're really receiving it. If you are less protective of your own heart, if you are so much more open and uncaring of how it's received and who receives it and when, then that message is just going to be blasted out to everybody and anybody that's ready and willing to receive anything, even if it's not going to resonate 100%. And in return, you'll get kind of like a mixed reaction or mixed feelings because it'll reach a wide range of people, but maybe not the people that are wanting to receive that type of message or like ready to receive it or willing to receive it. And it's not going to be specific to what they're deeply desiring or going through. So it really comes down to being very aware of our own doubts and fears and desires because that's going to determine how our energy is expressed and utilized. Like the manifestation of that desire is going to be created. And we are only going to be able to witness the truth of that manifestation if we're true with what our deepest desire is, because the manifestation is what we desired. Always. You don't manifest things that are not desired. You only manifest things that are. And so it's up to you to look at honestly what is taking place unfolding around you and asking yourself, on what level did I desire to experience this? Not the outcome of it, but how the outcome makes me feel. Is that true? Did I get that right? They're saying sort of. How the outcome makes you feel comes down to how you're desiring to feel regardless. And it's just reflecting that desire back to you. And the way to change the manifestation is not by changing your action necessarily. It can be, but it's more about changing the intention behind the action that's taking place, uncovering what you're deeply desiring to feel and experience and observing how that outcome is serving that. And if you want a different outcome, then it's up to you to figure out how you desire to feel differently and how you can express and move from that energy first. And once you can access that frequency inside of you and move from that energy through you, then the outcome may shift and change, but it's just going to be reflecting back to you what it is that's already desired. That's all manifestation is. And if you want to guarantee a specific outcome, they're saying, then it's up to you to figure out what it is that you desire inside of that outcome and ask yourself, question if that outcome is really what's wanted most. Because maybe there's a different outcome that's going to serve your desire that much better. And so detaching from a specific outcome gives your energy the freedom to create from the highest level of that desired inner desire. And you can't necessarily know what that's going to look like, but you have to trust that it's going to be the highest possible frequency that's going to be accessed if that's what's felt. This is really amazingly explained. Okay. Yeah, they're saying we're very attached to outcomes because we have this idea in our head that there's a specific outcome that is going to get us the best result. And the best result is really what we're determining is going to fulfill that desire the most. And what they're saying is that we are very limited and blinded to the like full extent of possibility because we always determine what's possible for us in comparison to what we've already witnessed in another. But is that person reflecting back to you their highest potential as well as yours? I mean, that's impossible for you to know. But if you're dictating your highest potential by seeing what that is in another person, then you are just comparing your frequency to theirs and potentially undervaluing your own as a result. Maybe what's possible for you is so much greater than that. Wouldn't you want that? But if you can't know what that is, because you've never seen it before, you have no frame of reference for that, then you have to anchor into trust. And that ultimately is going to come down to feeling the highest vibration inside of you and just like allowing that to guide the way. And all that's needed is feeling it intensely and acting from that place without worry, without doubt, without fear, without care. And that is the ultimate what? The ultimate pain point is figuring out how to do that. And they're saying that they would like to show you. All right. How would you like to do that? Or is there anything else that you'd like to say first? They're saying, no, we don't want to say anything. We want you to do it. Let's do it. Okay. Do you want them to get quiet at this time? So if you're distracted, if you don't have a moment to find a quiet place and close your eyes and tune into this exercise, please pause this video and come back when you do. I have a feeling it'll be worth it. Okay. So they want you to take a moment and close your eyes and tune into your heart center, meaning they want you to open your heart, the part of you that dreams, the part of you that you don't always give permission to dream, because sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it hurts to open your imagination to what's possible for you when you don't feel that that possibility is ever going to come true. When you don't feel that what your imagination is showing you what's is possible is actually possible for you. When you are limiting and downplaying your own capability to create it, to embody it, and to live it. And that's what they want you to witness right now. Is this part of you that so badly wants to just let go and dream big and beautiful things and believe in that possibility for you. And the part of you that doesn't let yourself do that, the part of you that diminishes that dream because you shrink in comparison to it. You don't always feel, or you don't necessarily feel that it's realistic for you. Maybe you're coming up with all these reasons why you can't do that right now. Or maybe you're coming up with all of these scenarios that are going to create challenges that you are just not feeling that you can overcome, or you don't have the energy to overcome. And it's just creating a lot of resistance and friction. And it feels like more um, aggravation than it's worth to pursue. And so you don't. You stay where you are. And they're saying that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that other than the judgment that you're feeling that's making it wrong. But they're saying that's your judgment. That's not their judgment. That is a part of you that's judging you. And that judgment is fine. That judgment is allowed to be here. It's just another part of you to observe and know exists and work with at some point. These are all parts of you that they want you to begin observing because they do all exist inside of you and they are affecting the interplay of your energy in the world, is what they're saying. And so it's this dynamic between the part of you that's so open and so boundless, and the part of you that holds that back, reins it in, anchors it down because there is uncertainty there. And they're saying that that uncertainty is both a beautiful thing and a scary thing. But they're also saying that what isn't, like what in this life is certain. When you really think about it, has there been anything in your life that was 100% certain? Or were there things that you perceived to be certain that felt more certain and therefore felt safer to pursue? And that's what they want you to see is it's the perception of certainty that allowed you to move in that direction with this boldness, with this sense of confidence and self-assuredness, or more of a like specific intentionality where you just went and you just did it. You're like, I'm just going to do the steps and get it done. And that was all your perception because there were scenarios where it didn't work out for you, but you just refused to believe that they were significant. And so you didn't let them stand in your way. And they're saying it's literally the same for this. They're saying the universe doesn't exist with the same, like, I identified certainty and uncertainty that you perceive or project onto certain things. It just either, they're saying it either exists or it doesn't exist based on your own willingness to choose it. You are the one giving that possibility certainty or uncertainty through how you perceive it. And what that stems from is how you perceive you. Wow. Okay, where would you like to go from here then? Like, what do we do with this? They're saying that the what to do with this is open your heart, open your heart to the part of you that isn't willing to believe that your dream has certainty in it. And when they're saying, because your dream has just as much certainty as your current reality, you just haven't chosen to believe in it enough to see it that way. And that's the truth. And the door into that certainty is your willingness to feel the desire for it and believe in your own ability to accomplish it, knowing that it's not going to unfold necessarily in the way that you anticipate, but ultimately what you're going to be experiencing inside of that is going to be a whole other existence that you don't currently have access to because you haven't opened that door yet. You've exist. Am I getting that right? Yeah. They're saying that it's a different reality that you aren't currently living because you're operating from this energy. But as soon as you open that door and you walk through it, you're experiencing a different frequency. And what's possible inside of that frequency is a whole other experience of your own sense of self. And they're saying, like, you can't believe what's going to unfold for you inside of that. You just have to be willing to trust in where that frequency will guide you. And it's going to look very different than you probably perceive it or anticipate it being, but you have to be willing to believe that that's okay and that it's going to work out anyway. And they're saying that is the extremism of the experience of this human reality is that we are experiencing it in a physical way, and that creates anticipation and anxiety and fear and uncertainty and unknowing. And being able to move blindly is a testament to how much you trust in your own sense of self, how much you believe in the highest part of you to be able to create despite all that. And that is the testament to what you've signed up for that they are watching you grapple with. And they want you to begin to one, see it that way, and two, have an experience of it. And you do that first, like the first and foremost, by just allowing you to observe this state of consciousness, this desire and this fear playing, interplaying with one another. And the fear is always going to be there because there's always going to be a part of you that's going to dream bigger and to want more and to perceive new avenues that you don't know what's down. And that part of you that fears is going to pop up and say, I don't know. I don't trust it. And that other part of you is going to say, but you didn't trust the last thing either. This is no different. And you learn how to take action and move forward inside of that uncertainty, and it becomes less terrifying over time. And the way to do that is to acknowledge that it's wanted and to feel the fear flow through you unencumbered. And they want you to try that right now, to think about actually taking a step, like having a dream in your mind, something you're visualizing, something that you've always wanted to do, or maybe you didn't necessarily ever kind of give it the time of day, like you didn't take that thought seriously, but right now they want you to. Right now they want you to indulge in it for a second and imagine deciding to follow it. And all of a sudden, all of these questions come up. But how? Like, where do I go? What do I do? What if this? What if that? And just being here and just breathe. Just witness the sensations that come up inside of your body when you give yourself permission to move, and how this entire somatic experience unfolds. Your heart starts beating, your you feel this like butterfly feeling, you feel this like anxious energy, maybe you're tenser, all of your mind starts playing questions in your head. These are all indications that your less evolved energy body is fighting to remain. And this is what takes place when a part of you is ready to elevate. And why is that? Because it has to surface before it can. It's always been there, but right now you're challenging it. And it's going to surface, but you have to allow it to move through you in order to be released, is what they're saying. Why? The denser energy needs to be released through you and from you in order for more lighter energy to be felt and to take up space. They're just saying that's the process of like your energy body. That's what it has to go through in order to um, have this like shift in energy. Okay. And they're just saying like feel all these sensations and then just breathe. Rather than suppressing them, rather than turning them off, rather than getting up and distracting yourself, you have to sit there and just let them yell. Like let your body move through this experience. Breathe deeply, give it permission to be here. And you'll notice that after a few minutes, it subsides. And the more you take the time to do that, the less of a fear response will overtake you. Like you are going to be expanding your capacity to withstand that, and it won't be as alarming anymore. But there's like a process here, they're saying. You have to, there's a learning process here. And the more you do this, the more you'll understand what's required of you to move through it. And the first step is this, just sitting and allowing and letting it happen and just breathing and just remembering that you're not doing anything right now. You're just lying here. Nothing has changed in the last few minutes other than the thoughts in your head. The thoughts in your head is what are creating this entire internal response. And the thoughts in your head really are in the driver's seat. And it's going to take time for you to recognize that the thoughts in your head are just a program. And it's up to you to change that program, but you change it by allowing it, not by resenting it. Because the highest part of you would allow it. The highest part of you would never disregard any part of you. And that's the part of you that you're looking to step into is the most loving part because it's that part that's going to move from an open heart. Believe in yourself and trust yourself. You have to be able to access that part of you through love and compassion and allowing and welcoming. And just have this higher perspective and awareness as your body is fighting back. that it's okay and that you're okay. You're always okay, is what they're saying. There's just the perception that you're not. And that's a really hard one as a human. I'm I'm saying that's a really hard one as a human. And they're saying you didn't come here for it to be easy. And ultimately, what they say by it is the belief system. You didn't come here to believe that you would be okay and taken care of. And therefore, you've always been under the impression that you have to, um, like, make sure that you are. And they're saying, no, you just have to believe that you are. And you've been operating from the belief system that that's not true, that you're not going to just randomly be taken care of, but that you have to make sure that you're going to be okay. And that's coming from a place of self-denial, not self-realization. The part of you that knows that you are capable of anything just fully believes that you're going to be supported if you move from the highest part of you. And that is a process to access and trust and embody and live. Is there anything else you'd like to leave them with today? Yeah, they're just saying stay here as long as you need to. Feel this energy move through you. Remind yourself that you're okay, you're safe. You've always been safe and you will always be safe. And it's just the mind that doesn't fully believe that. And ultimately, this is your work. If that's the path that you want, is to learn how to be with this part of you that doesn't feel safe stepping into an uncertain, an unknown, but reminding yourself that it's always been uncertain and unknown. And you just have to be willing to believe in yourself enough to take the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. And once you're taken the first step, the next step will present itself to you. And if it hasn't yet, it's because it's not time, or, and it's not ready, or you're not ready. And it's just a matter of just let it be. It's okay. You're okay. You're safe. The next step is going to present itself when what? When you're ready to see it. And what determines when you're ready to see it? Your desire to see it. And what determines your desire, your belief system in what's possible for you. Any last words to sum this all up? They're just saying believe in you. That's ultimately what this is about. Because if you don't believe in you, then what? If you don't believe in you, then what? Then you're always going to be living a reality that comes from that belief system, that's expressed from that belief system, wondering why you haven't been able to build a bigger, better life. And it's ultimately because you didn't believe in your ability to. And that feels disempowering, but it's actually incredibly empowering. You just have to be ready to empower you to do so. They're saying that's all that it ever is empowering you, but you empower you by acknowledging the part of you that feels disempowered and allowing that energy because an empowered person allows their own fear because they feel safe too. It's not harming them. They trust themselves to feel it, to hold it, and to move despite it. It's it's the part of them that teaches them, that guides them, that empowers them, not disempowers them. It's just a shift in your own paradigm that creates that shift in your own energy being and what you can perceive and then live and embody and create as a byproduct. Cool. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope that you enjoyed this message, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you like this type of content, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you in next week's episode of Guided and Grounded. Bye.